And good afternoon, everybody. This is Michael Filighera. I am with logicalsignals.com and also tradershelpingtraders.com. And this is the Elliott wave update for the NASDAQ 100 for Tuesday, July 20th, 2021. Interesting day, good day, but interesting day. I switched around the count just ever so slightly as I felt that I needed to put the completion of this minor wave 4 in place. We discussed it on yesterday's update, and today the movement confirmed that this minor 4 is likely complete at that 14,445 low. Now, what we've done off of that, or let me just go over what I've done briefly. I mean, previously yesterday, I had labeled this as the completion port for wave 3. And after taking another look at it, it would just really have made that C wave large, which is totally acceptable, but it has gone way too high today, getting almost back to 14,800 after drifting to 14,516 this morning, pretty much right after the opening. Boom, just kind of dropped and let it go. But the rally off of that just kind of canceled that out, maybe revisit the count and maybe fill in some of the gaps that made it just cleaner and all fit, because I kept thinking that I would have to put it as a failure here. And then I really looked at it and thought, no, in a 5-wave structure, wave 3 can never be the shortest. And in this case, it still is not the shortest, even though wave C is a 5-wave structure. Wave 1 is the shortest, and wave 5 subdivided, cleanly subdivided. So did wave 3, but here it's very distinguishable. So the wave C is as follows. We have the top of minor 3, then we have a minute A, minute B, and then we get into the subdivisions, 1, 2, 3, 4, another subdivided, beautiful 5th wave into a sub minute 5, completing a minute 5, completing a minor 4. So then what we've done so far in coming off of that low in anticipation of a minor 5th wave advance is that it appears that we have completed the first wave and then the second wave. So wave 1 and 2. And wave 2, I mean, it fits so cleanly. That decline this morning and then the immediate reversal did not leave it as a 4, but made it more like, oh, 1, 2, because second waves can be quick, jarring, go almost 100% and reverse. And because what follows a wave 2 is a wave 3, and wave 3s are normally longest, strongest, carry the biggest oomph, and that's exactly what happened. So following along with what the characteristics of each wave produce is why I now have put that labeling in. Now, labeling can change, so I'm going to leave that out there for you guys as well. Labeling can change. Remember, this is a work in progress. This is a move in progress. And that means that it's very fluid, and we have to be able to kind of follow along and put what we feel at that moment is our best wave labeling. So if I'm going to count this complete, then I'm going to leave this alone for right now. So what am I expecting? I'm expecting a continuation of this third wave, which I believe is subdividing nicely. So it gets all the way up there in a beautiful 5. And let me see if I can open this up. That's not going to do it. So let me go down to my 30-minute. My computer always wants to act funky. And then open this. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 1, A, B, pop, 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 wave 2. And then we get into this beautiful rally. And this very profitable, by the way. This was all, everything's in alignment. Just buy it and play it, buy it and play it, buy it and play it. So I believe that what we completed, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 1 of 3. Possibly we could call it 3, and this is 4. That all fits. But I would then have to label this down a notch because I believe that what we would be completing 4 and a 5, what we would be completing is just wave 1 of minor wave 5. So this way, I'm kind of labeling it. That's going to give us that large extension within this third wave. The third wave, then if this is only wave one and this is wave two, really we're expecting, so here's the key. We're expecting for tomorrow that that rally picks up again and just starts marching forward. It would be a 3 of 3 move, acceleration, and a straight up advance because of the direction. We're in a advancing market. So wave 3, longest and the strongest in the subdivides. So subdivision 1, subdivision wave 2, and boom, 3 of 3. And I truly would expect this one, this wave 3, because look at wave 1. All right, so I didn't want to do that. So let me get over and do that. So wave 1, well, I'll put Fibonacci. So we're going to put extensions as if this is 1 of 3 and 2 of 3, just to show you where 3 of 3 should come in, because I can coordinate that where this 3 of 3 would be related to the 1, to the first wave. So we're just going to put an extension from there to there to there. 618 takes us to 14,851. Wave 3 of 3 cannot be 0.618 of that first wave. What it can be is all the way up here, equal to even a little bit more. So this could just explode higher. Now, remember, we're in a final fifth wave, a minor fifth wave. That minor fifth wave is completing an intermediate fifth wave. That intermediate fifth wave is completing an additional primary wave. So primary fifth wave, actually. And so we're really looking for a quite an extensive and top. And even accordingly with yesterday's update, and that's where this one comes from, we were measuring the waves out to see how high we could get. Well, 15,705 came first to mind. So where can this third wave go? Well, right above 15,000. Let's get the ball rolling. Now, I am expecting it to happen quickly. So that fits. The 3 of 3 move should take all of this out. It may pause at each one of these levels. They are marked. They are resistance for an advance. And in reality, that advance could end here, that advance could end here, could end here. And we'll have to rethink what was going on. In fact, if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's 5 of that original first wave up in minor wave 5, well then yes, that would be a logical point to complete the whole move. But the way I'm counting it suggests it's going to blast through that. So here's the setup. Here's what we're going to be looking for tomorrow. We're going to include this, and that would fit what I'm going to consider my alternate view right now, in that we're still in the first wave of minor 5, and that's likely 1, 2, 3, 4 could end right there. And if that's the case, if this holds or that holds, or even that holds, and the market starts to turn lower, like it did right off of this, high this afternoon, into the close, bam, sold it off 80 bucks very quickly. If you were there to trade it, you just kind of sold it and let the sellers just carry you into a huge profit. But the recovery off of that is pretty good. It's strong. So they've already gotten almost half of that decline back. So when I start to see that, it's like, okay, it's either a wave 2 or it is a wave 4. And it did come into this territory, exceeded a little bit, but that's okay. It came into this territory. So yes, both counts are valid. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5 to complete the first wave up. So that would be the first minute wave up within minor wave 5. If we have minute 1, minute 2, and sub-minute 1 of minute 3, well, that's going to pretend that we're going to go sailing right through this. We're going to get up to at least this level, if not higher. And we're heading for new highs. We're heading to 15,000. And then yesterday, that was my call. This market should definitely get back to that 15,000. This is a finishing rally. It's not required to make a new high, but it would be expected simply because of the nature of the overall sequences and the degrees going up that is finishing here. If it finishes in a failure, it could, so I'm not going to discount it, it could, but what would be happening at that level would be a severe shock to the market, a severe shock, something political, something major happening. Suddenly, unbeknownst to anybody, a major bank blows out. Who knows? That would be a shock to the system, right? Geopolitical things can happen, and they can happen anywhere in the world. And if it's a shock big enough, it could cause, boom, everybody says, we're done, we're out. And that's where they prefer to stay. So that's what, in my opinion, if this ends in a failure, that's what would cause the failure. Something major, a major shock to the market or to the financial system or to something that was going to shake everybody up and they run for the exit. In the meantime, while that's out there, and we now can kind of view it in the context of what it would take to produce that failure, I believe that this is one of three, two of three, and now we're just going to do a scorcher tomorrow. Very similar to how we started this wave. And that's how I think we start to climb. Boom, 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 pull back, boom, 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 pull back, boom, boom. So that's what I mean. We are going to form an additional 5 waves up as 3 of 3. So the subdivisions are now counting themselves out. And when this third starts, so this is 1 of 3, 2 of 3, 3 of 3 should also subdivide. So we've seen this all before. But here, in this 5th wave, see these beautiful subdivisions? And the 5th actually subdivided within itself. That's what I'm referring to. We get subdivisions within the subdivision. Very common when you're counting rallies, the extensions. I will be going over that in my new ebook. So it's an important section because it's something to really understand how these happen and how it configures into that whole scheme of the building blocks and the characteristics of the waves. So as we progress in the study of Elliott wave, that will all become very clear. But right now, trust me that they do happen. I'm pulling them out. And they would continue to happen. We get the larger subdivisions pulling this thing up. We now know that if it only gets this far and that holds anything here, and that holds and turns us lower, when we start to break below these levels and below this level, then we're going to go more with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 1 of 5, and now we're going to do wave 2. And wave 2 could bring us all the way back down to here. Wave 2 could bring us all the way back down to here. I mean, truly can. So again, we're in earnings season. So shocks to the system are going to force this index lower. If they don't like it, the bailing, it's going to bring the index down, particularly when we start next week, when we start getting into those bigger companies, Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Google, Intel, Microsoft. Netflix reported today, and now they're actually bringing it back up. They had pushed it lower, pushed it substantially lower, and now it's higher. So whatever they're saying in the conference call is pleasing the traders of Netflix. Stock was down about 20 points from the close. It's trading about 511, all the way down to 500, I think, at one point. And now it's trading at 534, 534.50, so it's higher than the close. I'm going to leave it all here because my intent is to try to keep our daily updates a little shorter. So again, I'm looking for continued upside. We've got our marching orders in terms of if this contains it, and you can see what I did. I just put the Fibonacci extensions here. And so that I can get a grip from here to the bottom. From the bottom of this wave 2 to the top of this wave 1 to the top, excuse me, to the bottom of that subdivision wave 2. And that gives us that. Our other ones are from the larger minor 5. So again, minor 5 projects much higher. We got projections up into here. If minor 5 just comes in at the regular 0.62% of that minor 3, wow, we're already up at 15,700. So we got room. And so, and the reason I do it like this, because I don't want us to be surprised. We need to be able to trade it and trade it well. And if we have an idea of where we're going and the intensity and what could possibly derail it, then I think that just it makes it much easier to trade. So I'm going to leave it there. Downside right now should be limited. If this all reverses from here and we break below, whoop, right there, 14,644.50. If we break below that, it's going to leave this as a 3-wave structure. That's going to force me to go back out and see what the heck is this all going on, because there's another very strong possibility that this really did only complete the 3rd, and this is the 4th, and now we're going to do the 5th wave, and we're going to come back down below 14,445. Not expecting that right now, but that's going to sit out there. If it should happen, there's your no break zone, 14,644. That's a no break zone. Don't go below that. Okay, leaving it there. Have a great day tomorrow. The next update will be Wednesday, the 21st.